Ooh. Hello, it's Farah Siddiqui, goodnessgorgeousme.com. Welcome to my Google Hangout. This is very exciting for me, so I'm really pleased that you're here. I don't even know if anybody is watching or listening, so let's see if I can play around with this a little bit to see if anybody is on or not. Well, you just have to bear with me. Okay. So, this Google Hangout has been in the making for a couple of months, all right, and there is a story behind it. So it is called 21 Golden Tips from 6 to 9-figure earners, and it all stemmed from a mastermind that I went to way back in January, actually, in Dubai. And then fast forward, when I was in DC, I gave a talk, and my Millionaire Mastermind group were sharing tips and strategies and all the different things that they were doing to really have their business explode and have it go to 6 figures and above. So my mentor is a 9-figure earner, and he was speaking and really sharing some of the things that he wanted us to know about how to get to that level and what it takes, not only in strategy and tools and skills, but also in mindset. A lot of it was around mindset. So I've put together this presentation, which hopefully I'm going to be able to share with you. And I wanted to share this. The mastermind I went on in Dubai was it was 5-figure entries. So there's a lot of cool things here that hopefully you're going to enjoy. So let me kick off and find my presentation, and let me see if you can get this, and hopefully you can still hear me and you can see this. Okay, so here we go. So it's 21 golden tips from Mastermind. So have you ever asked yourself, how do they do it? What did they do to get so rich? I'm smart, but what am I missing? Are they bluffing, or is it really true? And if you want to know the real secrets of millionaire success, by the way, this has got nothing to do with your background or experience. Okay, you don't have to have been had all the knocks in life and suddenly you had an epiphany and you've now made it, or otherwise, you could have had quite a stable upbringing and you're kind of wondering how the millionaires make it, right? So how'd you crack that? So once you know, you can apply these 21 golden tips and create your own wealth, abundance, and success. That's my goal for you. So who is Farah Siddiqui and why listen to me? Just a little bit of background. I was born in England. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. And I left school in 87, so maybe well before some of you were even born, I don't know. I went to university, so pretty kind of traditional academic upbringing. And then actually went to teacher training college, and I became a teacher, worked my way up as a senior school maths teacher, and then head of maths and a leader. And I stayed in that profession for a while until I went to a seminar in 2003, and I woke up. It really changed my life. There was so many different things that I was exposed to at that time, and it really inspired me and motivated me. Eventually I left teaching and I went into various things, property and then sales. I'd never done sales before. And I actually trained as a breakthrough coach. So I studied NLP and hypnotherapy. I did public speaking, trained as a trainer, presented seminars to teenagers and to adults as well. And run workshops internationally, so on wealth, on relationships, and on mindset. And I founded Goodness Gorgeous Me, and that's where my business is being run from at the moment. I moved abroad, and I actually lived the dream. I was living in Australia last year and Abu Dhabi before that, and actually now I'm pretty much location independent. I've just come from a week in the Bahamas, so masterminding out there. So every month this year, basically, I've been abroad. So that's what can happen when you strive towards and achieve location independence. And I went to an elite mastermind in January 2014, which I was telling you about earlier, with multimillionaires. and form collaborations. And that's when I was invited to speak in Washington, DC to a larger group. And here I am today. So that's just a few things that I've managed to do. So Great Wall of China, Australia, diving, pyramids, just worked with some really, really cool people in the field of personal development. So the late Stephen Covey, T. Harv Eker, Tony Robbins, and, you know, managed to achieve some really personal goals like swimming with dolphins. And I bought my dad a Jag. That's his dream car. He wanted that many years ago. So yeah, so eventually I was able to be in a position to buy him that. And yeah, that's a few things that can happen when you actually start living your dreams and putting what you know into practice. And this is a little bit more now that I can, you know, do the things that I love. So this is me in Bali. I was there this time last year, and I was teaching at an orphanage and being able to make a difference. And you know, I love teaching, I love kids, but this time I was able to do it because I love doing it, not because it was my job and I needed to do it. And that takes us to the Dubai Billionaire Dollar Mastermind in January 2013. Very extravagant event, you know, extremely extravagant fireworks, pink limo. We masterminded in the Burj Khalifa, met princes, ate in a palace, you know, had an amazing cruise. And we did a firewalk as well to help us get over some of our blocks and our barriers and really kind of take things into action. So it's a very extravagant 5-figure entry fee, which is where I met and worked with my 9-figure mentor, which inspired this presentation today. So as I say, I was asked to speak in Washington, DC in August 2014. And this was to a select group of 6 to 9-figure earners. And we shared our tips and strategies and hacks on how we made it, and just proving that anyone with passion, persistence, and a purpose can do the same, not only in business, but in life as well. So let's kick off. Now, I just want to know why you are here and what your outcomes from this workshop might be. And also grab a notebook and a pen, because you might want to jot down some of the notes that I'm going to go through with you, and write down your ahas, your will do's, and your wows. Okay, so a bit of a warning. Some of the tips will not surprise you. Some will seem very simple. Okay, but you actually have to ask yourself, are you doing them? Okay, knowing and not applying is not good enough. And, you know, if your mindset is set at the employee level of thinking, then one big lesson that I learned, it seems very obvious, but you need to transform to allow in multi-millionaire level doing. Okay, you can have a business plan, you can have a plan of action. The plans are the plans are the plans, but the actual crossing over the line and the doing is where the magic happens. So if you want to break through your blocks, your old beliefs and your bad stories and shine in your brilliance, then you are in the right place today. So I'm wondering, are you curious? Right? Are you wondering about taking a dip? Or are you serious? Are you now in the flow and, you know, you're getting your feet wet? It doesn't have to be perfect, but you're getting your feet wet. So let's kick off with these golden tips. So tip number 1, make it easy for people to buy from you. Okay, don't have multiple opt-ins or, you know, make it very complicated. You are in the business of giving value and selling. So make it really easy and even understandable to a 3rd grader. All right, so a 10, 12, 13-year-old kid has got to be able to understand what you are putting across. If it's too jargony, you know, people just won't get it. So it's got to be very simple, easy to understand. And test, test, test. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect first time. You've got to test your idea. And if it's a product or a service from 0 to 6 figures, give yourself 1 to 3 weeks maximum to test it. Okay, so create it and test it. Give it about 1 to 3 weeks, and just to see if you can get some sales from it. If you can't get a single sale in that time, cut the idea and go on to the next one. Don't spend too long on one thing that isn't working just because you think it's a good idea and you think that there's a big need for it. If what you've done hasn't worked, cut the idea, or you need to change something. And number 3, you will need funding or investors to sustain your business. I'll speak a bit more about this in detail later on, but if you are looking to sell your business at some point, and one of the great things about business, is starting with the end in mind. So actually starting from a position that, right, eventually I want to be able to sell this business, so you need to work backwards, and you will need funding or investors to sustain it. Assess your marketing, okay? Put your fishing rod in the right place, excuse me, and scale that marketing up. Market to the right people, not to more. There's no point just throwing your fishing rod out there and hoping to catch something, right? You've got to go to the right place. You've got to go to where your target market is, okay? And really sell to them, market to them, because they're the ones who are interested in you solving their problem. Okay, so don't cast your net too wide. Tip number 5, linked to that, is know everything about your target market. Okay, only sell to them. And in order to scale your business, you should define your audience specifically. Okay, give them longer term value. So you can have smaller price items and then work your way up. It's always easier to sell to people who've bought from you before. Okay, so be very, very specific with your audience, where they live, what they do, their age, what they love doing, what their interests are, as much specificity as you can get. You'll be able to tailor your copy towards really, hitting the button when you are speaking with them. And don't waste your money on people who won't buy your product. Okay, it seems pretty obvious, but if there's a group which you're networking at, and you're giving a business card and you're talking to them, and they are not your demographic, they are not your target market, then it's a little bit of a waste of time. Okay, so don't waste your money on people who won't buy your product. And finally, you can never know enough about your customers. Okay, as I said earlier, where they shop, what they eat, how many kids they've got, if they like holidaying, where they like holidaying, etc., right? You can never know enough. And in Facebook, right, you get so much information from people volunteering stuff about themselves. Okay, so you can really drill down and find out more about your target market. Tip number 6, monetize pain. Okay, there's only 2 things people buy. Either buy pain or pleasure, something that's going to solve a problem or something that's going to increase their pleasure. That's the only 2 reasons people actually buy. So I was in the Bahamas, as I say, last week, and obviously beautiful location, amazing place to go. I'm from the UK, so going to the Bahamas is like one of the most exotic locations in the world, right? It's like paradise. And for me, I was drawn by the pleasure of that, of masterminding with 6-figure earners, their small group, somebody that I already know, she's a brilliant mentor for me, and people that I didn't know, but small group. And just the fact that I would be in the Bahamas, masterminding, learning cool things, getting to see a bit of the island as well, I was drawn by pleasure for that. And that's what sold me. Although pain actually is a bigger driver for most people. They want to be out of their problem. They want to have a solution. So really, that's the bigger entity. I think more people are Googling, how do I do this? How can I find that? So they want a solution to their problems. So if you're marketing and monetizing their pain, then that's where you're going to have more success. Tip number 7, how do you sell to someone? Well, before any technology, how did people sell? Okay, well, obviously what they did was talk to each other. Okay, that's what they had to do. So social skills is still the foundation. You still have to be able to communicate very eloquently with people. Okay, it's a sales copy itself, works, but you have to be able to communicate with people. That's why video is so huge right now, massive, and Instagram as well. People want to see people, but at the end of the day, nothing beats face-to-face. Nothing beats picking up the phone and talking with somebody. Nothing beats, arranging a meeting and having that face-to-face interaction. It's a real luxury these days. Okay, it's very easy and quite lazy to send a text or a tweet or a blanket message out, but to actually have that time together, whether it's in a seminar or a mastermind or a one-to-one strategy call, people really value that, and you can get a lot of a good value both ways from that. So get someone in front of you, get them on the phone, spend time. That old thing called the phone, right? We've all got one of the smartphones, and very rarely do actually use it to call anyone, which is interesting. All right, so actually getting on the phone and speaking to somebody, and as I say, give them access to a free strategy call. That way that you can find out more about them. Okay, it's a two-way thing. You want to know if you want to work with this person, and it also gives them an opportunity to see if you are a right fit for them and for their needs. So a strategy call is a very, very good way of deciding, because everyone's time is precious. So really utilizing the fact that you can speak to somebody and book in a strategy call. Okay, tip number 8. Okay, it may be controversial, but you need a script. Okay, now if you have a script, everything falls down to a numbers game. If nothing else changes, if all the other variables remain constant, then, as in having a script, then it just falls down to a numbers game. Because if you keep varying things, you don't know what it was that you changed that made the difference. Okay, so having a script just means that you know what you're saying, you know what questions you're asking, you know where it's leading, and it'll be a yes or a no. And that's the only way that you can actually see and test if what you're doing is working. And make the call yourself first. Okay, so people would love it when it's like a personal call from the person who is selling the product. Okay, the guru, the creator of the product. Okay, the one who's created the mastermind or the membership site or whatever it might be. Okay, so if you make the call first, it really gives a lot of value, a lot of kudos. And then later on, if you want to outsource the sales call, you can do. Okay, which is something that I'd probably recommend anyway. And with outsourcing, pay them well. Obviously, you want somebody who's going to be able to speak clearly, eloquently, got good English, but pay them well. Right, really recognize them, find the right people, and that's got an apostrophe extra there. Pay them well and give them recognition. All right, so that way they'll want to stay part of your team, and they're going to enjoy what you're doing and what they're doing and what value they are offering. So it's really important that you pay them well, you give them recognition. And then the close needs to happen through a communication touch point. Actually do the close. Usually that's going to be when you are physically on the phone with them. All right, there's that actual touch point, there's that communication there. Okay, but when you leave it kind of loose for somebody to click here or buy now, you just don't know if they're going to do that. All right, so really closing through a communication touch point and give people access to you. So Facebook is great for that now. So Facebook groups as well. So when the moderator is actually on the Facebook group and they can chime in with you. Google Hangouts are great. People actually can interact with you. So we can't be in a million places at once. It's not always easy for people to travel and be with you at a live seminar or a live event. So, but nowadays there are many, many different ways of people having access to you. Tip number 9, about the checklist. Right, I have a 20-point checklist. So my mentor gave me a 20-point checklist. All right, so questions, very, very thorough, okay, that you want to know. Very simple to ask, and not, some questions can be deep, but a lot can be quite straightforward. Spend time building rapport, okay, really get to know them, find out what they love, find out what their pain is, find out what they're doing that's worked, find out what hasn't worked, find out what their frustrations are. Okay, really dig down and drill down and really show an interest and really care about the person who's giving their time to you right now, okay? And they want to be heard, and you want to know if, how you can help, and what you've got to offer will fit their solution. Okay, you'll only really know that if you're building great rapport with them. And they also need to know if you're right for them too. Ask questions, okay, and repeat what they say. So, for example, if you want to build on the pain, so if somebody says that they want to lose 30 pounds in 30 days, right, and they say, yeah, that's what I want to do, repeat that back to them on the call. Lose 30 pounds in 30 days, right? How comes you haven't lost 30 pounds in 30 days already? And then they'll tell you, okay? So you're repeating back. So they're actually hearing their own pain back to them. It's kind of come out of their own body and they're hearing it fed back to them, and then they can give a response as to why they haven't done that yet. So actually vocalizing it and verbalizing it really helps. And you should be able to identify their pain in the first 5 questions, right? That's what that script is designed for. And your questioning style, you want to know in the first few questions exactly what their pain is. And then the next 5 questions, you want to identify what's holding them back, right? So you don't need the script that I've got, but just a general, a general rule is identify their pain first, and then the next few questions are all around what's holding them back. Okay, what is the reason that they don't have these results? Then the next 5 questions, you want to paint a different picture altogether. Okay, so it's 30 days from now, and you have lost 30 pounds. Okay, so ask, how do you feel? Right, you want to put your client in that position of the future where they've gone through your training and they've now got the result that they want. And it really reinforces the feeling that the challenge is possible. So what they're about to do is possible. You want them to really get that sensory experience of how they're going to feel, what they're going to see, the difference that it's actually going to make, right? Because we only ever do things because of how it feels. So you want to invoke that feeling of success from them. You want to ask them, what does that picture look like 30 days from now, or whatever the time frame is. And then in the last 5 questions, you're going to go into the offer to alleviate the pain. So in a nutshell, they've said what their pain is. They've also said what's been holding them back. And then they've got a picture of what it might look like if they had a solution to this, right? What their life might be like. And then you work in your solution, which fits what their picture is going to be. So pretty simple. So tip number 11 is service your customer by empowering them, okay? So don't make price a barrier. Now, there's a very common thing here with using the number 7. So $100 does feel a lot more, doesn't it, than 97, right? It's only $3 difference, but actually looking at the figures, straight away, 97 feels like a bargain, okay? And always give a payment plan, especially if it's a high ticket item, on something that you can auto bill regularly. So it might be 3 payments, it might be 4 payments, but give them that option. So it just makes it easy for them. Okay, it doesn't have to be a big sum right now. There's usually an incentive if they can pay up front, but always break it down into smaller segments, something that will be more affordable if affordability is an objection. Excuse me. Write down your schedule for 24 hours to the minute for the next 7 days. So this is now going into time management. So a task that we were given is to actually write down your schedule for a whole 24 hours to the minute for 7 days. So I've done this in chunks of 30 minutes. So, the time that you woke up, brushed your teeth, went to the bathroom, made a coffee, made a smoothie, whatever you did, right? So where is that time going? And then what did you do? Scroll through Facebook, watch a bit of TV. What did you do, right? Did you go for a walk? Did you exercise? That time passed down. By the minute, you'll soon see where you are wasting a hell of a lot of time. Okay, guaranteed there'll be time there that hasn't been productive, hasn't served you in any way, shape or form. And just seeing that written down in black and white is very, very empowering. It's like You know, when people want to lose weight, they're told to keep a food diary, and then you can actually see, or better than that is photographs. So actually photographing everything that you're eating that day. And when you have that visually in front of you, then you're kind of going, holy smoke, okay, there's something that I need to change here. So with your time, a lot of people say they don't have time for this, they run out of time, they haven't, you know, got time, whatever it might be. A really neat exercise is do that. So I challenge you for the next 7 days to write down your schedule for the whole 24 hours every day for a week. And there will be time in there to do the things you need to do, guaranteed. You'll be spending too much time on unproductive tasks in there. And we respond best to challenges. So, excuse me. So if you go back to school days, university days, if you had an essay to write and you had a week to write it, chances are you probably did it on the Sunday before it was due, right? So we do. We actually do respond better to challenges. We will get it done in the time given, but you know, a lot of people get it done last minute. So if you leave it too long, you know, just putting it off and putting it off, you know, you're probably going to be in a lot more stress situations. So depending on what your personality is, some people like to do it and get it out of the way, but generally we tend to respond best when we are given a challenge. And you know, there's a lot of like 21-day challenges, 90-day, 30-day challenges. And once you're on that roll, once you've done that commitment, you don't want to fail. You don't want to give up on the challenge. So you do what it takes to complete that 30-day challenge or that 90-day challenge. So we do really respond very well to that. So think about that when you're looking at your time management. What is something that you can break down in 90-day chunks and then break that down into monthly chunks, into weekly chunks, into daily chunks? And know when you are most productive. Okay, work out when you're pumped. All right, when are you like on fire? When have you got your most energy? So work out when you're in your state of flow. It might be different to different people. Okay, so some people, first thing in the morning, they get up, they want to exercise, that's it, they want to get it done out the way, that's when they're feeling most energetic. For some others, it might be after work, in the evening time, or even in the middle of the day, right? You've been working, now it's lunchtime, and you just want to like have a break, you want to get away. So when are you most productive? And when it comes to work, are you a morning person? Do you want to get straight on with it? Or do you kind of get into your flow in the afternoon or the evening? Are you a night bird? Do you burn the midnight oil? You know when's right for you. There's not one size fits all. So work it out when you are in your state of flow, and then that's when you're going to be most productive. Okay, that's when you're going to get the results by working in that time frame, okay, in that time slot. So identify when you're most productive, get up early. All right, I'd highly recommend that you work on your mind and your body first, okay, not work first. So read something that will inspire you. Do a workout, do a meditation, do something that will just get your mind and your body ready for the day. If you start working straight away, guaranteed that whole day will just be work, 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 work. You won't find the time to break and meditate or go for a run or read something, okay? It just won't happen. So first hour or so, whatever it works for you, concentrate on your mind and your body and prepare yourself for the day, okay? He says prepare yourself for war, okay? If you're not ready to go to war, don't go to war. Really powerful, okay? So prepare yourself for war. And if you're not ready, you do not go to war. So get yourself prepared. Tip 14, wake and work early. Your competitors are sleeping and there's less distraction. So with all our time zones all over the place, I'm actually speaking to you. This is at midnight for me, right? I think, where is it now? We're now 12:30, okay, a.m. So right now, most of the UK will be asleep. However, if you listen to this in the States or in Australia, hello, you are awake, but my competitors are asleep right now. So this is the time that I can wake and work early, all right? Utilize that, all right? Know when you, which time zone is going to be most beneficial for you. And also know how much your sleep your body needs. You know, the whole thing about we need 8 hours sleep or 10 hours sleep or 7 hours sleep, it's different for different people, okay? So use that as your time schedule. I know some people, can sleep 4 hours or 5 hours and that's it, all right, a night. So that might not work for you. So know how much your body, how much sleep your body needs. And, if you need to take a power nap during the day, really great for re-energizing you. So take a power nap during the day if you need to. Don't feel guilty, I fell asleep. No, maybe that's what your body needs. So get to trial out what works best for you. And carve out time so you've got no excuse why you're not doing things. All right, so carve out the time to complete each task. As an entrepreneur, we don't have accountability, all right? We don't have a boss breathing down our neck. We don't need to be in work at a certain time, and we work our own schedule. But if you're not monitoring yourself, we can easily get caught up in distractions. Okay, so set yourself time to do certain tasks. So ask yourself how long it will take to do it, map out the time, and allow yourself only that much time to do it and get it done. Right, so you might want to use like a little egg timer, set yourself half an hour to do a task, or 1 hour or 2 hours, or whatever you think it might take for you to do that task. Set the timer, put your phone away, right? Switch it off, put it out of sight, close all your other browsers, and sit down and do that task. That's it. And when the timer goes, you stop. Okay, you stop, you take a break, you don't continue. And as you do this more regularly, you'll get into the practice of sticking to the timeline. It's like when you did an exam at school, right? You had a 2-hour paper. You had to complete it in 2 hours, all right? If you spent way too long on one question, you're not going to have enough time to complete the paper, all right? Or if you're stressed and you got distracted, then, the time will pass and you wouldn't have got a lot done for it. So it's a very similar kind of thing. So set yourself the time, all right? Carve out the time to complete each task and make sure that you get it done in that time. Or if you do or you don't, that's the time that you've set. Okay, you can monitor it and stretch it or tweak it moving forward, but at least you're getting a measure for what works. Okay, so quite a lot here on scaling. Okay, so how do you scale something? So prior to you being able to scale something, it has to work. Okay, there's no point scaling up if you haven't tested it and it hasn't worked. So if you've got a small business, for example, you make I don't know, you make beauty products, aromatherapy products, and you're at the moment just selling one-to-one, selling to friends, family, maybe at a local store, and you have big dreams about scaling that up. Well, before you can do that, you need to test it. You need to see that it actually works, that the business model actually works, okay, before you can, move it on up. And it will give you a huge return on what you're doing. It is a brilliant thing to do, but you need to know that it works first before you kind of say, oh, I wanted to take it to multiple 7 figures. And ask yourself, this brings me to that, ask yourself where you want to scale it to. So you need to set a benchmark or goal, something that you want to get to. All right, so you need to know the end goal of where you want to scale it to. You've got to know your numbers. Okay, and then reverse engineer it. So once you know your numbers, okay, so if you've got your financial goal, and then divide it by the cost per unit. So how many of those you need to sell, and it gives you an idea. All right, so just really working your numbers, knowing what it is, and simplify as much as you can. Know the steps for each milestone, break it down. You've got to ask, how do I begin? Okay, if you don't take action, that's all around fear and mindset. But a bigger part is not knowing where to begin. You need to be absolutely clear on how to start. Okay, start the first step. You don't need to have it all figured out just yet, just start. Okay, begin right away. And especially if you're playing a higher game, then start training, right? Train with the best people that you can afford. You want to learn to swim, you need to get in the pool, all right? Get swimming straight away. With a defined market, you find them online, okay? You know how many you need to reach your target, okay? So you'll get all these figures, all right? And then you know your potential audience. You need a percentage conversion who will buy your product. So break it down so it's really simple, and they'll probably pay at step 3 or 4, okay? So once you've actually kind of worked through this a little bit, then that's when you're gonna, have those touch points, and that's when they're gonna pay. But you need to have systems and processes in place to scale, right? You do need to have all the key elements in place. And you do need a lot of money to scale as well, right? And that comes from other people. There's a ton of venture capitalists out there looking for startups with proven processes. Okay, they're going to ask all of those questions about what systems you have in place, what the turnover is. You need to know your numbers, okay? And they will pay if it's a proven business model and there's money in it for them, and they will pay, right? So you need money to test it. So you need to test it first so that you can present it to them. And to raise money, you can do offline crowdfunding. So you can go to events, you can solicit people as an investor or a partner, okay, instead of as a customer. So you can approach somebody with here's an idea and to see if they want to join you, right, like joint venturing you, instead of you selling something to them. Okay, so somebody will actually get a piece of it, and you need to show the potential of your idea or your launch. You can fill a room in venues which are cheap or free. Okay, you don't want any overheads when you're doing the scaling process. Okay, you can put on 4 or 5 a month. You can go to in different cities, right? Just rinse and repeat, and at the event, educate them on what it is you're trying to do or create. And get them enrolled as partners, not as customers. Okay, you want to empower them. So step by step, this business is yours as much as it is mine. Okay, you want to give all the sales steps, the marketing angles, etc. And a lot of people want to invest, but they don't have the opportunity or the know-how. So you need to be able to really, explain everything to them. Tip number 18. So how do you test sales? Well, you need to raise your prices. You get more qualified people who probably get the results you want when you do that. All right. So when you're raising your prices, they've actually got more in the game. Okay. So they're probably going to want to get a return on their money. So they're going to get the results that you want to get for them, and that's great for you. You get great testimonials, you get great feedback. Think outside the box. You want to scale out. You can change your product slightly to suit different segments of the market. So, you can just maybe call it something different, but it's the same product, and because it's serving a different market. All right, so that's just thinking outside the box. And we aren't in the product or service business. Okay, you've got to rethink that. We are actually in the people business. The number one thing you've got to get good at is communication skills. Right, you have to talk to people. There's just no two ways about it. We can, as entrepreneurs, especially online entrepreneurs, we can be in front of our computer screen quite a lot. So you need to, if you're not that confident with that right now, or you need to brush up on your skills, read up on it, get out there and do it. Okay, so How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie is still a classic that I recommend that you read. And connect, build more meaningful relationships. Okay, as I said earlier, time is such a premium. So if you actually build rapport with people, get to know them, okay, it really helps move you forward. You don't know what connections they're going to introduce to you. You don't know where that relationship will turn out. When I was in Dubai, that's when that's when I was invited to speak at DC. And then when I was at DC, that's when I was invited to go to another event with another one of my mentors. And I've just come back from Bahamas. I wouldn't have been there had I not gone to Dubai and met a friend and mentor there. So, you really got to connect and do the things that will help your business grow and also give you fulfillment in life as well. Make it a priority to make one relationship every month that can mean something to you. Really connect, find out what they enjoy, and build something significant. It is worth it. Okay, nurture it. There's value to be engaged, and you're going to get an equal benefit by being in that relationship. So really, give yourself like a month to really nurture this. Not just many people, somebody here, somebody there, somebody there. Just kind of really concentrate on building relationships with one person at a time, or 2, 3 people at a time for a set period of time. Now, tip number 20, a lot of us are shy and introverted. So, it's quite a myth that somebody very confident is an extrovert. Now, sometimes that's just the persona that they put across when they're in work mode. But actually, they can be quite insular, quite shy. And we all have fear. We all have limiting beliefs. Okay, some people don't like to do video. Okay, and some people have just been doing that behavior thinking it's okay, but doing that behavior most of our life. We're in a very different business environment now, okay, where you've got to put yourself out there, where you've got to show who you are, where you've got to, you know, just really demonstrate your personality. So just being shy and introverted and, you know, too scared to put out a video or express your feelings or your thoughts, ask yourself, how far has that got you in business? Okay, there's some things that you're going to have to change there. And your inability to get out of your comfort zone is costing you a lot of money. Okay, if you stay in your comfort zone, if you stay in that place with all that value that you've got to give, right, you're actually costing you money. So don't accept excuses, accept results. Make sure to connect with people, build a relationship with them, whatever it takes. And it is a decision, right? You take a load of action and you may fall on your face many times, but persist. Okay, you go from job you hate to several thousand a month if you do that. Okay, one of the mentors there, one of the six-figure owners, that's exactly what he did. He just fell on his face, but he stuck with it. And now he's, you know, multi-six-figure earner. Amazing. And it does take a massive amount of hustle as well. You are going to have to step out of your comfort zone and, you know, and hustle, you know, not do what it takes, you know, within your ethics. But it is something that, you know, you're just going to have to step out of your comfort zone. Tip 21, last one, nearly. The only thing you're remembered for in this world is what you gave to the world. It's what you contributed. It's what you give back. And it's the impact that you have on other people's lives. That's what people remember us for. So how important actually is money? Well, you have an opportunity to create a wave of impact, of contribution, a wave of opportunity to uplift a generation, to change people's lives if you make it a priority. So when you have money, right, it just gives you not only a great lifestyle, but it gives you an opportunity to really make a difference and change things for other people too. And if it's not a priority, like part of your life, if you don't look at it as if you have to do this, you won't become someone great at changing someone's life, doing something great for impact and changing somebody's world. Okay, so if you don't see it that way, then you're not really going to make that great an impact. And don't look at the financial cost of doing this, because the rewards are far greater. And here's a bonus tip. Okay, get a mentor. They cut short your route to success big time, right? They've made all the mistakes. They've got things that they've done. They're just a few steps ahead of you. Okay, so get a mentor and center your life around contribution. So there were the tips. Are you still curious or are you serious? Okay, so I hope you'll agree I've put together some of the best tips directly from my 9-figure mentor in this exclusive webinar just for you. And I personally have spent multiple 5 figures to be in his inner circle and have access to a number of very smart, underground, no hype, genuine game changers who can help you in your business. Now, having a mentor or a coach or someone to hear you, to get under the root of the stuckness, to get to your why and see your breakthrough is key to your success. Find the money vehicle that you love and work at it, okay? And it's not about the how. You have all the strategies, the tools, the blueprints, all of those things can be learned, right? Or you can find them. What you want is clarity, alignment, and to intuitively feel that you're on your path, right? And have the courage to face the blocks and break through. So if you want to break through your blocks, old beliefs and bad stories and start living the life that you love, okay, that's me in some exotic locations that I've been to around the world just this year alone, then you need to break through and bounce back, okay? This is what I love doing, okay? I know that, you know, a lot of people spend ages on their business making sure everybody else is okay. But, you know, have you ever felt the need that you just need to be heard, right? What was the last time that you spent time on you? Okay, you might have been unhappy or confused or out of alignment for a long time, but been hiding behind a mask, right? And just getting on with it. So time, as I said before, is a luxury these days, and being heard is like gold. Okay, nobody really talks about it. What we need to do is clear the weeds first and then we can plant seeds. And breakthrough is an incredibly powerful, fully intensive immersion breakthrough session that I offer. Okay, it's 3 hours live in person or on Skype. Okay, it's just one-on-one, and it's a real biggie. We all have beliefs and stories that we tell ourselves which hold us back. Okay, we've got to face those limiting beliefs. We've got to face the fear. We've got to get to the root, and then scramble it, rewire it for a new paradigm. Okay, you've got to get really clear on your values and what is important to you. And you've got to trust and believe in yourself. That's something that a lot of people don't have, and it holds them back in their success. And we need to set intentions, and we need to dream again and put plans into place for what you want and by when and how to create it. And we need to choose a vehicle which is right for you, which drives you. Okay, you need to learn to remove indecision and procrastination. It's very easy to say, but not so easy to do. So you need to learn how to do it. Okay, and you need to realign yourself, getting your mind and your body working together. All right, you will definitely notice more clarity, lightness, and energy shifts. Okay, during our 3 hours together, we look at what you want. Okay, not from where you are, but from your genius. This is what is so different in how I work. Okay, so we're not starting from where you are, but from your creative zone, your greatness. Okay, that place where you shine. And we're also going to clear limiting belief, which is preventing you from taking action, and map out a plan to make sure that what you truly want can become a reality for you. Okay, so you might expect some touchy, feely, woo-la-la moments. Okay, so have a box of tissues at hand. It is 3 hours of really getting right to the root of things, right? Stuff will come up, and it needs to. Okay, we need to clear those weeds, right, to be free, to be yourself again. Okay, so we get right to the core and help you to literally transform. Okay, we create new empowering neuro connections and really uncover your true powerful self-beliefs. This coaching and therapy intensive will supercharge you definitely to be your brilliant self once again. So just as a recap, what you're going to get in the Breakthrough program is a 3-hour personal one-on-one coaching session. There will be a hypnotherapy session included. We're going to change a limiting belief so it no longer holds you back. You're going to actually get a personalized hypnosis audio to embed those changes. And I'm going to throw in a free NLP report. So NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. It's the stuff which helps you really understand your mind and how it works. And the report will have tips and exercises. You'll get unlimited 60-day email support from me. You'll be included in a private Facebook group, so you get ongoing support there from the other members. And you will have a personality profile created for you, which will help you understand yourself better and others. There'll be a pre-coaching questionnaire, really thorough, which really kind of sets a great benchmark for where you're at right now. And then there'll be a follow-up call as well, one-to-one. And I'll actually throw in my live unedited recording of my Washington, D.C. talk, the one where I was in talking to the 6 to 9 figure earners, right? So you'll get a recording of that, of my talk that I gave. So the 3-hour breakthrough is by application only, all right? So what I'd love you to do is to jot down the Facebook page there. It's facebook.com/goodnessgorgeousme. Send me a message, send me a little video, okay, about 4 minutes, okay, not too much longer than that. A little video sharing why you'd love to have the breakthrough transformation. Okay, I'd love to, you know, see you, hear from you, and you know, it's something which we are going to be spending a bit of time together. So I'd love to actually see you in that video, and so you can apply there. All right. So hopefully you've jotted that down. Facebook.com/goodnessgorgeousme. All right. Send me a private message on Facebook. Now, just quick testimonials. This is what Anisha has to say.
In this 3-day mastermind here in Washington, D.C. I've learned so much from her in such a short amount of time. She has a lovely heart. You can tell that her energy is just positive, and it's just about helping people really get to the next level in their lives. She's been instrumental in that part of the mastermind in terms of balancing the business and the money with relationships and having relationships that are worthwhile and worth giving energy to. So I'm really grateful and thankful. Definitely reach out to her. She will help you, and she'll help you get to that next level. But you have to show up. So definitely give Farah a try.
Thank you, Anisha. Orion.
My name is Orion. I am a fitness expert and a life coach, and I loved Farah's talk. It was amazing. It was all about how to get what we want out of life, how to get focused, how our mindset affect our business and affect our lives. I really enjoyed it. She's wonderful. She's warm. She's genuine. She's inspiring. She's loving. She's caring. And just a bright light. I invite you all to listen to what she has to say, because it's gonna improve your life in any areas. So that's it. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. We'll do one more. Here's Kelly.
Hi, this is Kelly Fidel with No Glass Ceiling, and I had the opportunity to spend the weekend with Farah at the Mastermind X, the Commerza and 7, 8, and 9-figure earners, and it was an absolutely spectacular event. And I have to say that I absolutely loved having Farah up on the platform speaking, sharing all of her amazing information. So brilliant. I learned so much, and I had such a great time seeing her, spending time, and just really getting to know her, her magic, and her brilliance. So if ever you have the opportunity to spend time with her, I would say absolutely do it. She is spectacular, brilliant, and always be bold, fearless, and unstoppable. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. And Robert, final one.
Hey guys, this is Robert Mercado, and we're here on a yacht for a Mastermind X that we had, and it was absolutely incredible. I got to connect with some great people, one of them being Farah. And if you're following her, you're definitely doing yourself a favor. I actually love the energy that she gives off, and you can ultimately tell that she's somebody that's very giving. She's always looking to expand her mindset as well and learn more. It's a big reason why she's here at the event. And she shared with me that she does coaching. And if you're actually looking and considering to do coaching with someone, I would encourage you to definitely go full course with her services. And I'm glad that I connected with her. It was a fun event. We're here on the yacht now. We just finished eating some food, had some fun. But anyway, it's great to connect with you. You're more than welcome to reach out to me as well at any time. And take care. All the best.
Awesome. So I'm so grateful that you've been on the call. We're coming up to an hour now. So I've actually got an exclusive offer just for you for attending and hearing me out this whole hour. Okay, so for tonight's attendees, I've got a 15-page coaching e-course, all right, called Why You Haven't Been Achieving Your Goals and How to Turn It Around. Okay, I'm going to cover 5 things: why people don't achieve their goals, what you believe about beliefs isn't true, why we create beliefs and how we all have the same core beliefs, beliefs and traditional goal setting, and then your secret weapon to achieving your goals and creating the life you desire. This course is valued at $197. I'm also going to give you a free strategy session. Okay, so that's a one-to-one call with me, includes a little mini questionnaire at the start to give you some clarity, and that's valued at $100. So for tonight, you can have both of those, a $344 value for only $27. You heard right, only $27. Okay, so you're going to get the 15-page coaching e-course with the exercises plus the mini questionnaire and strategy session for just $27. Okay, so going back to the beginning, have you ever asked yourself, how do they do it? What did they do to get so rich? I'm smart, but what am I missing? Are they bluffing, or is it really? If you want to know the real secrets of multimillionaire success, hopefully I've shared that with you today. You've got some great value from that. And as I say, it's nothing to do with that. It is really it. and rewiring your brain, and the know-how to apply the 21 golden tips and actually create your own wealth through abundance and success. So for tonight only, you're going to get that e-course straight to you, plus we're going to chat one-to-one on a strategy session. All you need to do is go to PayPal. My PayPal account is farahsid@hotmail.com, and you can get both tonight for just $27. So make a note of that PayPal address. Okay, you're going to be getting the ebook, 15-page coaching e-course plus a strategy session, $344 value just for $27. Here we go. So hope you enjoyed that. We're just coming up to the hour, just over the hour now. So yeah, it's been great to be on this hangout with you. I hope you really enjoyed what I can offer. It's been a blast for me to be here, and I will see you soon. I'll see you in the next one. So you have a great day, a great evening, and from me right now, it's good night, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.